How y'all doing?
Woo! Good, you good.
Anymore. All right. I just want to thank a couple of people first. I've been asked to keep it short, which is cool because I have to get up early tomorrow. I have Wolverine training. Actually, I'm shooting a shampoo commercial. It's for guys like me, called Face and Shoulders. It's great to be back here at Humpty Dumpty's Pleasure Palace. That's a great portrait of you, David. But I think the artist exaggerated some of your features somewhat. When me and David go to the same barber, the ones that have half-off specials, I see a guy with a full head. I'm like, can I go ahead and use this? It'll take a minute. I usually play the piano when I'm up here, but I just got a Justice for Trayvon tattoo, so my arm's still really sore. I wasn't sure if I should say that or I just got a Walter Mondale tattoo removed. I had to figure out which one of those references you guys were least likely not to know. And then go with that one. I live in Nachlaot, but I don't get invited to eat out a lot because I'm allergic to non-bleach flour and hemp oil. I like every year in my neighborhood before Pesach, they put up all these signs that say, sell your chametz. Sell your chametz. So I'm like, I want to break into that market. So I'm going to put up a sign that says, sell your chametz, free estimates. No chametz, too big or too small. And then when they call me, I'm going to show up their house with a clipboard and start like pacing off steps. Ma'am, are there any other rooms in the home? I'll give you $400 for it. Throw in the stroller and the Marpesa, it'll make it $450. I can't go any lower, otherwise I'm not going to want to sell it back. Oh, you can shop around for a better price, but you're not going to get that same person's service. Yeah. Next page. I was in Tel Aviv at the beach, and I found one of these great beach chairs, so I was lying on it really relaxing, and this guy came up to me and said, you can't sit in this chair. So I didn't want any trouble. I was like, no problem. Just bring me one that I can sit in. I like to go to the hotel, and right before I start davening, turn to people and say, which way is Mizrach? You know those applications for the iPhone? They have all this iPhone and all these applications for it. There's an app, you download all these apps. So I'm writing an app. I'm writing an app for people who are unemployed. It's called a job application. Yeah, I've been doing some writing lately. I'm working on a romance novel, but I realized it would require way too much research. So I'm doing historical fiction instead. I'm also writing a special needs self-help language book. It's called The Complete Idiot Savant's Guide to French for Dummies. I haven't really committed myself to be a writer yet, so I use a pencil name. Okay, for this next joke, I'm going to need a volunteer from the audience to laugh when it's done. If I had identical twins, then on their first day of school, I would tell the teacher that one of them was adopted and she needs to be very sensitive to that. They say that America has an obesity problem, but I think that's the wrong perspective. They need to say that Americans are winning the war on hunger. Yeah, you gotta like fat people joke. When I'm in the open shuk and it's really crowded, I like to yell to myself, I want to speak to a manager. Or I'll turn to random shoppers and go, do you work here? Do you know if they're having a sale on vacuum cleaners? Which aisle can I find that in? I wanted to save some time, so I took the Shabbos stairs, but I forgot that on the way down they stopped at every step. If a picture says 1,000 words, then people who write captions are major underachievers. One time I went to my friend's house and his 2-year-old daughter came up to me and she said, "You're a poopy, and you wear diapers." And I couldn't believe it. I said, "Have you been reading my diary? How do you know so much about me?" Now that I'm Israeli, I belong to an elite club of elite coffee drinkers. Yeah, when I first thought of that joke, I had a feeling it wasn't that funny, and now that I've heard it out loud, that's all the proof I need. The mikveh in my neighborhood has probably the world's greatest collection of mismatched shower slippers. And it doesn't help that I take my glasses off about a block before I get there, for personal, just for the right reasons. So when I always go in and pick up a slipper and I go, "You have this in a men's 45? With the left one?" And people ask to borrow my towel, I just warn them, I said, "That's my mikveh towel. So I can't guarantee that all the hairs on that are mine." I saw this documentary, this nature documentary. It was set to music. It was like this musical documentary. I must have watched this thing 8 times, and I still can't figure out what does the fox say. It didn't make any sense. Wicka, 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 that's not what the fox. I'll tell you what the fox says. He says, "It's a good thing I have this awkward bushy tail, otherwise hunters would bother me." And he says, "How come everyone just thinks I'm a female wolf at Carnival?" But this is what the fox really says: "Jumping over a lazy dog never works in real life. I don't care how quick or brown you are." People still use typewriters? When people speak Hebrew around me, I kind of want to know what they're saying, but I don't want to go to Opan. I'd just rather be bi-curious lingual. I studied air guitar for a while, but I only learned the major scales. So there's still a lot of solos I can't play. Sometimes I wonder, how come they're not serving us any of the other parts of the falafel? You've got some time. Just got some excuses. When I go to singles events, I like to pick out the most attractive woman there and gingerly approach her and go, "Oh, can you watch my things? I'm gonna go mingle." When I wear a bow tie, it's like I'm saying, I want to wear a tie, but I don't want anyone to know. People stroke their beard when they want to think. But I guess the longer the beard, the longer the thought. E does equal MC squared. Luckily I had that extra time to ponder that. I want to get my name illegally changed, and then use that if I ever get in trouble. Then I could put out my real ID and say, "See, officer, that's not even me. I'm this guy. I'm saved." And he would never do that. I was outside smoking, and someone came up to me and asked me if I had an extra cigarette. None of them are extra. It's not like when I bought them, I go, 20 in the pack. What am I going to do with all the extra ones? An acid reflex and a flashback are not the same thing. Thank you very much. You guys have been a great crowd. For a different comedian.
The Naiditch, everybody! everybody. Woo! Keep your hands going for Zeb Naiditch. Woo! You can all see him with the piano next week. That's right. Zeb's going to be headlining next week. Keep your hands going one more time for Zeb. Yeah, can't dance with a lady.